Okay guys, day 3 for me, what will be day 2 of your ride. Today, just leaving Camping Banks. Some more people joined last night, so this is what I mean is we are going to be stopping in public places, so you do need to make sure you are quiet at all times. And despite what these are saying, I did have a really nice sleep. Really nice sleep. It's now about 10 to 8 in the morning. I just have to think then. 10 to 8, yep. And today is going to be a 71 kilometre ride. So you'll have done, yesterday was 106, but remember it was flat until that last little bit. Today's a little bit hillier, but nothing that's going to worry you. So yeah, let's go see what it's about and see what your next campsite's like. Just a little tip for you guys, because it is all about, we're going to be getting up early, and one little tip is just before you get up, maybe 10-20 minutes, put your clothes, if they're not wet, if they're not damp, put them inside your tent and inside your sleeping bag with you for about 20 minutes and they'll warm up, and then that transition isn't as bad. Foggy morning. Sun is just poking through the clouds there. So I'm hoping that I am going to stay dry today, but I realise every time I say that it always backfires. But hey ho, let's have a day where I stay dry, please. I'm loving it, loving being out. This is when I feel most at peace. I honestly do, I'm not just saying that. I just feel amazing when I'm doing something like this. It's ace. Up out of the campsite there's just a little hill and then downhill for a bit, which is nice. At 150 meters elevation, and it's a beautiful valley. I do know on this stretch this is when we get close to the wall. The walkers, they follow it, but this cycle route just dips in and out to it, and at that point I'm hoping that I say we're dipping it out and it's there, look. Just joined it about 100 meters back. So yeah, this is Hadrians Wall. So there are some turrets and stuff a bit further on, so I will maybe get the drone out then. I brought it with me, it'd be a shame not to use it. Sorry, so as I was saying, it gets to 150 elevation at the moment, and the highest point of today and the ride in total is 255 meters in elevation. So not much further than where we are. If you think about it, it's only adding on what you added on yesterday. So the wall section, it comes around there. It's not this wall here, it's not this wall here, but this wall here, and you can see it continues on. And if you were walking the trail, you'd be walking alongside it there, so you follow it quite closely. Like say we're going to go around this bend, and then we go up this road here. Seems silly, I brought the drone all this way. Seems silly not to use it at this point, don't you think? Nice view of the river down the valley there. Looks lovely, doesn't it? And this is the river that we just saw at the top of the hill. Tea rooms? Tea rooms now we're talking. We're 10k in, day 2 at this point. We just crossed a railway line there, and we are now following it on this flat cycle track. The sun is looking like it might come out today. please come out today. Nice steady start to the day, and just think, 10k in, all we've got to do is another 6 of them, and we're done for the day 2. Now just off that railway track there is a very steep hill. I remember this one, on a busy road, but luckily, look, Sustrans, we have an alternative route up it, so you're not going to get pestered by cars, and it's going to be lovely. You can take a break when you want, and it's not long at all. This is the steepest hill of the trip so far. You can never get an idea of gradients from a camera, but the main road is there. We're completely off it, so you just go at your own pace. I've only been going about 20-30 seconds on here, and then it just levels off a bit, so you can get a breather, and then the next part just goes up there, and then you're at the top. Then you're at the top. So the trick with hills, guys, is don't try and race the hill, and what I mean by that is don't try and get up it as quickly as possible and use all your energy up. Trust me, the hill's not going nowhere. It's always going to win if you have that mentality. What I mean by that is we're doing this up the hill. All you need to do is get into an easy gear and just pedal up like this. And remember, what is a hill? It's just the flat, but pointing in a different direction. Flat roads can point north, south, east, west, and anything in between. Flat roads can also point up and down, and that's all it is, a flat road. A flat road going up. You know what the saying goes? What goes high must always come down. Unless you're Mick Jagger. Look at that view over those yonder hills. Bird's walled Roman fort, and there's nice toilets and cafe in there. Morning. I'm not talking to myself, I'm doing a recce for a student ride. Pinpointing where all the bits are. And then I believe we're going to go round this corner and then up there. Have I told you how much I love doing this? Peace and quiet. Okay, this section had a bit of loose bits, not only for maybe 20 metres or so we'll just need to be careful if you've got thinner tyres. Bit loose, and they were a bit big with the loose bits, so we just need to watch out for that. But we are normally, we are nearly at Halt Whistle, which is which they want to frame themselves as being you can't see it from here, they want to frame themselves as being the centre of Britain, and this is where we can stop for a drink. There's toilets. 12k, a little bit more, and then drinks and toilets and stuff. Cool. So this is Halt Whistle, the centre of Britain apparently. There you go, confirmation. There's a co-op and stuff just around the corner. I'm going to go for a coffee at this brew bar here. I absolutely love doing this. Yes, I've got a bit wet at times, but I'm in that mindset now whenever I do a tour that I just want to carry on and on and on. I'd love this to be my way of life. We need to save that for retirement. When I've done my weeks tours in America and stuff like that, I could have just carried on. It's lovely, just get into a routine, get up, pack your stuff away, and that's all you have to do all day is ride your bike. What can be easier than that? You just jump on and pedal. Look at this. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Listen to the birds. Darker, so I'm just hoping that it misses me. But look at this for a beautiful view. And here it comes. My wish for one dry day on this trip doesn't appear to be happening. Hey ho! Just gotta keep on pedaling on. Some news for you which you're gonna like. So you're gonna like this news. It stopped raining as well. Woohoo, it's even better. So I'm at 25k of day 2. It's the start of going up the highest point of your ride, and the highest point of the ride is at 255 meters of elevation, and we're starting it at 100 meters. School is at 247 meters. I've just checked, and I don't know what town is, but even if town is at 0, let's say it is, it's just like riding to school from town, this hill. So nothing to worry about at all. How good is that? Another stunning view. Well, I hope I haven't tempted fate, but look, the raincoat is off. The raincoat is off for the first time on this trip. Just halfway up that hill that I was chatting about earlier on. We're at 135 meters. Just keep on pedaling. Look at this beautiful view. This is your countryside, guys, where you live. England, looking lovely. Another little tip for the hills: if you see the crest of it, don't go charging for it. Don't start thinking I'm nearly there, because again you'll run out of energy, and also it might be a little bit of a false brow. Then you might roll down, you have to go up again. Whereas if you just go up steady at a nice pace like this, you get your rest as you're going over the brow. You don't need to stop, and you go down and then up, and you hadn't needed to take that break because you didn't rush to get to the top. Yee! Okay, so day 2, kilometre 25, that's where we did start a climb. It went up to about 240 meters, and then we dropped right back down to about 180, and it's about 30 kilometers, a short steep bit. Take us back up to 200, and now just making my way up, and then this should be the highest point at 255. So maybe it's like riding to school 2 or 3 times, but you can handle it. You were watching this video, weren't you, and you went, "What, to school, yay!" And now I've just added that last bit, you're going, But guys, this is why you do it, for views like that. So then that makes you go, yay again. Right guys, we're officially at the highest point of the ride. Not a single car has come past me. So don't get me wrong, it's not all downhill from here just because we're at the highest part. It is going to be up and down, you can see over there. It is up and down, it's a bit rolly. But if you're at the highest point, the general trend has to be downhill, doesn't it? Oh yes. I'm not joking guys, when it's days like this, on a bike tour, and your day's your own, I think it's the closest thing you can get to ecstasy. As I was saying, the only thing you can do is put your coat on. So I just had to put it on as that cloud went overhead and it's passed by. And now we've got this in front of us. So I don't think I need the coat for a while. It's only 11:30 in the morning. So going okay. 11:30, 36k done. Another 34, 35 to go. Okay, now here we're going to cross over a railway track, and just like with cattle grids, you don't brake on them, and no shaking your body or anything like that. They are at a slight angle to the road, but all you do is just roll over them. And just like that, you're over. Okay, so no braking, no jerky movements, just smoothly over the top of them. Now I don't know about you, but I'm wanting a coffee now, and my lunch. Just turned off from that bridge onto this little cycle trail. We just needed to cross the road there. There's a proper crossing for bikes. We'll probably just have to do this two at a time. Lovely. I didn't realise we were that scary. Look at that. Isn't that spectacular or what? Gorgeous. Look at this for a location. Amazing. So I've just left Corbridge, where there's cafes and supermarkets. It's a nice little village. I was sat in that cafe in Corbridge for an hour or so, and just before then I was starting to get grumpy, which meant I needed food. So just remember kids, keep on filling that belly of yours. So just for a mile or so at Corbridge, just on this busier road, then we've got to turn off it onto this quiet road, but we're just going to have to manage this this junction here because it's a right turn, but then we're back onto quiet roads. It's only for a short bit, is that road there. The sun's out, feels nice to be warm. Yeah, so as I was trying to say on that busy road back there, just before I got into Corbridge, I was starting to get grumpy. I was 60 odd K in, and I just realised that the only thing I'd had to eat was an egg sandwich at about 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, even earlier than that, 6 o'clock in the morning. So just remember to keep on fueling yourself. Whenever we stop, stick a sweetie in your mouth, and then when we do stop for lunch and stuff like that, make sure you fill up, and then you'll be fine. So we're about 3 miles from our next campsite, and we just follow this along here for a bit. We need one final stop for coffees and ice creams. There's one there. It is through the woods, away from the traffic. Wow guys, your last camping can't get any easier than that. The trail's just there. And this is your camping. Well, this is it. And he says we can camp wherever we want. Okay guys, so this is our last campsite. Basic but lovely. And the toilet and the shower's just there. Our trail just goes past that gate. Horses in the field, just there. Bike looking cool. Right, so I'm going to put my tent up just here. And then I'm going to go get a shower. Because remember, we couldn't have one last night. And then I've downloaded a film to watch tonight in my tent. So that's going to be nice and cozy. And I'm going to, in a bit, just talk you through cooking that other type of meal. And showing how we would cook our meal on the grass. Making sure that we're not near our burners. But yes. Lovely. Everything's going to be dry tonight. Yes. So as you can see, the tent is absolutely sogging wet, so that's why we get it up and then let it dry, and then we put the stuff in. We don't put the stuff in it while it's soaking wet. So there we go, the tent's up, it's just drying out. Got my towel drying, my socks are drying. They're going to be tomorrow's socks again, because these have been soaking up the moisture in my shoes all day. So do you know what, because the weather's so nice and the sun's out and I haven't had this so far this trip, I'm just going to sit down here and have my scone that I purchased earlier on. This is why we do it. So just drying out my socks and shoes and feet in this beautiful sunshine. So I'm hoping that our final day tomorrow, our final few hours, might be a bit like it should be the weather, you know, June. We are in June now, aren't we? June, a summer month. Oh my word. Look what I spied at the bottom of the campsite. Hello. Hey, hey, hey. Hey. That looks mean. That duck just squeezed through the fence and chased me away. Beware, beware kids. He went straight for my toes. That little thing, that little thing. All I want to do is go see the goats. And there's your shower, and there's your toilet. Don't be deceived by that hut shower, guys. It was absolutely lovely. Someone had left some shower gel in there as well, and I smell beautiful. Oh, this one thinks I've got some food for him. I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry. Hello. Hello, gorgeous. I'm sorry I don't have any food. Man, what a final evening of this trip. This is absolutely glorious. Shower is stonking. Okay guys, I'm away from the tent. The tent is way over there. So, remember what I said yesterday about screwing this on. Make sure you don't cross thread it. Make sure that if it doesn't spin on nicely at the first, then it's probably cross threaded. So remember that we just need to make sure that it's on, and you can just give it a quick test. Perfect. Right, make sure the ground is level. Okay, because these are going to be top heavy when you get your pans on. So if there's a slight dip in the ground, then it's going to unbalance it. I need the water. The more water we have, if it's unnecessary, the longer it's going to take to boil. So remember what I said, we don't cross our legs and sit here like this, because if this tops over, that's going to burn our legs. We'll make sure we're well away from it. So even if that falls now, I'd be better off a bit further back. Right, remember what I said about lighting it. Remember, you go from below, not above. Okay, so that's finished boiling now. I'm well away from it. It looks a lot closer there than what I am. But the staff will be telling you if you're too close, they'll tell you to move away. Just be careful of that. I don't want this hot water falling on you and burning you. You've got to be sensible with this, okay? So this vegetable tea, because sometimes these dried ones, they have a sachet inside there, and it's not like a pot noodle, it's not for flavouring. You have to make sure you fish it out. Now I've had a look on the instructions on this, and not all of them are like that. They're there to keep the moisture out, or something along those lines, keep it fresh somehow. This one says fill to 400 mils, so 400 mils about there. I always do it a little bit more, just so it's not too dry. Again, it's well away from my legs, and I'm just sort of like looking across there, looking inside at the same time, and just sort of like eyeing it up really. It's not far off. Maybe give it a stir. You should be familiar with this, guys, with all pot noodles you eat and stuff. Am I being a grumpy adult there? I don't know. Well, this is a posh pot noodle, isn't it? Right. So, now, seal it up. So, I'm just going to leave that there. See you in a bit for a taste test. As you can see, guys, it's absolutely glorious now, isn't it? Absolutely glorious. Anyway, let's quickly talk about today's ride. So it was about 70 odd, can't remember exactly, but 70 odd kilometers. Yeah, it was a bit hilly, but remember that if there's hills, that means half the ride is downhill. So you're only putting effort in for half of the distance. The rest of the time you're freewheeling down. So this 70 odd kilometre ride, you could say, really. So we should go 30 odd kilometre in our heads? Yes. Just take our time to get up the hills, and you can do it. It's not a problem. Okay, you're physically capable of doing this ride. It's just mentally. Just get your head sorted out for it and you will do it. You'll be fine. And then tomorrow. So tomorrow's ride, from here it's only 20 mile, 30 kilometres or so. It is 10 mile hub cafe, where I will congratulate you all. And I'll say, you superstars, you are about to, in 10 more mile, so there's 10 mile after the cafe, 10 more mile, you are going to have cycled from one end of the country to the other under your own steam. How about that, eh? But, please don't let that get to your heads at that point, because you've still got another 10 mile, and that's when accidents can happen. When you're getting towards the end, your concentration slips, you get a bit cocky. We don't want that to happen. We want to get safely to that finish point where your family will be waiting for you, and you'll have a bit of a welcome party, and yeah, the job's all done and dusted at that point. So I'll have a taste test now. I hope this food's going to be okay, because I do have another one which I could have used, but I don't like wasting food. One thing to remember, guys, whenever you get the opportunity, make sure you wash your hands, especially before you start cooking. Make sure your hands are clean. If there's no sink, use some sanitizer. We'll have some available for you. Right. Well, it tastes absolutely gorgeous. Well guys, I just wanted to say I couldn't have wished for a more beautiful, gorgeous end of today. I hope every evening when we do the trip is going to be like this. I've just been laid on the grass for about 2 hours just looking at the clouds. That building over there is just a children's nursery, so that was open when we first turned up, but it's just silent. It's been like this for the last couple of hours. So I've just been laid down, listening to the birds, looking at the patterns in the clouds. This hedge here, it's alive with activity. There's all sorts of birds flying around. You can see all the bushes moving all. Look at it. Can you hear them? I hope the microphone's picking it up. So yeah, beware kids of that duck. I'm not joking. It's a demon duck. It chased me away. It was after my toes. I'm going to put that duck in the risk assessment. That duck is definitely going in the risk assessment. So, yep, beautiful end to the day, and I hope it's like this for you guys. Like I say, I'll speak to you tomorrow for the final 20. Okay, let's hope it's like this when I wake up, eh?